Hey everybody, welcome to the Joe Wentz Project TV. My name is Joe. Thank you for being here. I know this is our early afternoon live stream, but as we all know, unless you've been living under a rock, Eddie Van Halen has passed away at the age of 65 from cancer. And so when I heard the news, it was about 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon. I just got done eating lunch. My wife and I, we eat lunch together about 3:30. I leave here about 4:30. I leave the house, and so we just got done eating. And my wife, she was looking on her phone, and she had a notification from our local news station here in town, and she said, "Oh my God." And she jumped up off the couch, and I was like, "What? What's going on?" I'm looking around. What's happening? And she points the phone to my face. She goes, "Look at that." And it said, Eddie Van Halen, guitar icon, dead at 65. And I said, "Nah, man." I said, "Nah." I said, "I don't." They've been saying that for a couple of years now. That's just a rumor. They've been, stuff's been like that. People, y'all know that watch this channel. You know what I'm talking about. And she said, "Hang on." So she went and looked at other media platforms, TMZ. I mean, everybody. It was everywhere. And I was stunned, just like everybody else, And people that watch this channel, I'm a huge EVH fan. He has inspired me from the get-go. I did part 1 yesterday, and that was just something I had to throw together. I mean, it was just... I didn't have time to go live yesterday. I didn't have time to do anything. I had to go to work. I'm a working man, so duty called, and I left. And on the way to work, I put together the video that you saw yesterday, if you saw it on this channel, my tribute to Eddie Van Halen Part 1. Well, this is Part 2, because I wanted to be able to come on here and tell my story. Everybody that is a fan of Eddie and a guitar player, I can't hardly talk right now. I'm all shook up, man. Pardon me. But if you're a guitar player and you've been playing since the 80s or 70s or even 60s or whatever, if you like this kind of music, 80s rock and whatever, Eddie has influenced you somehow or another, and he did me big time. And I'd like to tell that story. Let me look at the chat real quick and acknowledge people, because if, I can't stand YouTube channels that ignore the chat. I can't stand that. That's just... To me, that's just so rude, because people don't have to be here, and they're here. So let me look real quick. Let's go back. Charlie S. is in the house. Hey, Charlie. JJ Collins, my man JJ Collins, my guitar tech on call. JJ says, "Huge respect to you for doing this. I'm so upset I can't even pick up a guitar, let alone play right now." JJ Collins says, "I know, man. It's tough. It's tough." 802 Blues, how are you, man? He says, "Rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen." Johnny Bean, hey, Johnny. I knew you would be the first one to go live with the breaking news, man. And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. It's a sad day for musicians everywhere. Let's see. Everybody's saying hey to everybody else. Bozique says, "I'm at work, but I had to tune in." Bozique, thank you, man. Don't get in trouble. Thank you. Just, put the audio on and cut the video off. Put the phone in your pocket or something. Randall Fisher, hey, man. He says, "Rest in peace, Eddie." Thank you, Mr. Fisher, for the kind words. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that was awesome, man. That was Jamal. Hey, Jamal. Thank you, man. Pardon me. Thank you for being here. Weedy Guitar Studio. Thank you, man. EVH will live on forever. We all love him. Rest in peace. Superstars don't fade away. Andy Dion. Joe, you were the first guy I thought of. So much, Eddie. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, I mean, I can't, there's only one Eddie Van Halen. There's a bunch of copycats out there. I'm not trying to be a copycat at all. I can't play his stuff. I can mimic his stuff, but I can't play it note for note like some of these other great guitarists that I see on YouTube. I'm like, wow, man, those guys got it going on. But I don't think it's about trying to copy somebody. I think it's about being yourself. And yeah, you can hear his influence in me. You can hear that, absolutely. I try to put my own spin on it the best I can. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's a train wreck. What can I say, man? You know, just I don't know, man. I just love playing, you know. But anyway, JJ Collins, Jamal, hey, man. R2R3, hey, Joe, on lunch break. Long live Eddie. Thank you, R2, brother R2. Thank you for stopping in and saying, hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Everybody's heart is broke. I know I'm a day late on this. Like I said, I got the news a little after 4 p.m. yesterday, and I had to go to work. So, you know, I was like, damn. I was like, ugh. So I just threw that little video together, just saying this again for people who are just now jumping in for the video on yesterday's on my channel, my tribute to Eddie Van Halen Part 1. And that was chapters 1 and 2 of a memoir that I wrote, man, probably, I don't know, 5 years ago or so. And I paid a guy to narrate it, and that was just the first 2 chapters. So, and that was basically touching on the whole Van Halen thing, how I heard about them. So if you watched that video yesterday, you kind of know a little bit of where I'm coming from. But I would like to talk about the first time I seen Van Halen live in concert. I'd like to talk about that if you will indulge me to do so. Michael Smith, hey, man, how are you, sir? Man, it's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well, brother. I haven't talked to you in forever. Michael Smith, such a wonderful human being, man. Such a wonderful guy. Mitch Heyman, hey, another just beautiful people here, man. Mitch Heyman, hey, man. And, I always do that for like a little warm-up. That's Eddie. That's Eddie. I always do that for every time. I don't know why. That's just what I do, man. And I love that little intro to that song. It's so wonderful. Sounds, I mean, that's Eddie, man. Anyway, the first time I saw Eddie, Van Halen, okay, it was when OU812 came out. So that was what, when did that come out? 87, I think, 87, 88. And when they went to on tour in support of that album, I was like, they were coming to Charlotte, North Carolina, which that's where I was living at the time. And heard they was coming to Charlotte, and I was like, man, I gotta go to that show, man. I'd constantly have been watching Live Without a Net, Eddie's solo spot, and all that stuff. Just, you know, the whole, just watching it all the time with a couple of buddies of mine. And yeah, that's right, Charlie. And so I got home after school, and I heard on the radio, you know, Van Halen coming live to Charlotte, North Carolina with opening act Private Life. And I was like, who? I was like, I don't know. I didn't know who they were. Come to find out years later, I believe that was something that a group that Eddie produced or something, helped them tried to help them out, get going or something. So they had them open up for him on that tour. So anyway, I got home from school, and I called my mom at work, and I said, Mom, Van Halen's coming to the Charlotte Coliseum. Yeah, can I use your credit card to call Ticketmaster and get a ticket? And she said, yeah, but you got to pay me back. I said, okay. So she gave me the number, and I called Ticketmaster and talked to a representative, got a ticket for the show, all that stuff. And it came in the mail, you know, I don't know, about a week or two later, I get the ticket, and I'm like, you know, oh yeah, man. And I just went by myself, you know, and I remember going before the. I got there early, man. I got there early, and I know the Coliseum. Well, that Coliseum is not there any longer. They done tore it down, which is really bad. But they tore it down, and put condos there now. I heard some years back, but back then it was a really nice Coliseum. But I remember there was a side road you could take. It would take you into the back entrance, and I said, I'm going in that back entrance, man. I don't know if they're gonna be, you know, have people out there that won't let you through or what. So I went ahead and went in that back entrance, and I saw the tour buses and all the rigs out there with the stage gear and all that stuff. And I said, man, I'm going to geek out for a minute, guys. So, you know, you have to forgive me. But I looked and I said, Eddie is in that building. You know, that's like all the magazines and all the times I watched Live Without a Net. And yes, I did watch Live Without a Net last night, Andy. Absolutely, I did. Along with many, many other tributes to Eddie Van Halen. I watched that all night long, going down the road and coming back, listening to YouTube and checking out all those videos. So anyway, I went in the back way, and I said, well, Eddie and the guys are in there. And I went up, and back then you had to pay $5 to park. Paid $5. I parked. I went inside, got a T-shirt. I got a OU812 program, which it's not. I have another. It's not the one I had then. That got destroyed or lost or something. But I went on eBay years ago and bought another one that's in pristine shape. So I do have that program back. And so I went and parked, and I went inside. Like I said, got me a T-shirt and program. The usher showed me where my seat was, and I sat there and I was just watching. You know, just taking in the whole thing. I was like, wow. Van Halen's going to play here in a few minutes, man. It was in my very first concert, you know. And in my mind, I'm just playing over and over his solo spot from Without a Net. That's just going through my mind. I said, I wonder if he's going to play the exact same way he did on that concert, or is he going to change it up? I had no idea. Excuse me. And so the house lights go down and Private Life comes on, and they play. And they were cool. I mean, you know, I didn't know who they were or nothing like that. They were cool. They got done. And then Van Halen comes out. The lights go down. Everybody's erupting, going, no pun intended. Everybody's just eruption of cheers and screams. And I'm screaming my ass off. You know. I remember there was two guys. I was in between these two older guys. So I was what? 18, 17 years old. So the guy beside me on my left was probably, I don't know, man. He was probably in his early 30s or something. And the same with this other guy. And they were like this the whole time. Just sitting there. They stood up. They didn't move. They didn't cheer. They were just like this. And I was like, hey, y'all can do what the fuck y'all want to. If you want to look like a statue, that's fine with me. But I paid to come to this motherfucker. I'm going to fucking, yeah. It was my time, you know, pardon my French. And so they come out, and I remember the first song they played was AFU, All Fired Up. That was the first song they played. And I wasn't really close to the stage. I was kind of midway, and I snuck a camera into the show, which that was a no-no. It said no cameras, none of that shit was allowed. But I snuck a camera in, and man, I was snapping. I had 24 exposures or whatever it was, and I'm snapping. The light goes off, and you can see the ushers down there looking like, who the hell's taking them pictures? Let's go get them. But every time I'd snap a picture, I put my camera down. And luckily, these two morons that I'm sitting in between, they didn't say nothing. They didn't flag nobody down. They didn't say nothing. So I take up that whole roll of film throughout the show. They come out and they play, and man, and it comes to Eddie's solo spot. And I'm just losing my shit, man. And I had a lighter in my pocket. So I smoked back then. I had a lighter, flicked the damn Bic, did all that, you know. Sure enough, he played it pretty much like it was in Live Without a Net. And the last song they played was just like on Live Without a Net. It was Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. So it was awesome. It was an awesome show. And when I left, my ears were ringing. I remember that I felt I was almost deaf walking back through the lobby, and everybody was just, yeah, everybody was screaming and hollering, and I was like, this is fucking awesome, you know. And I make my way back to my car. I already had a Van Halen cassette in the cassette deck. Man, I had that son-of-a-bitch pumping. And everybody was doing that in the parking lot. Had my shirt, had my program. I had just seen Van Halen for the first time on the OU812 tour. And I was on cloud nine, man. I was just, it was just the coolest thing. I said, I finally got to see my guitar hero. I didn't get to talk to him, but I got to see him. And that was cool, man. So, yeah, that was awesome. And then later on, some years later, I got to see him one more time. I think it was on the Balance tour. Was it the Balance? No, let's see. Yeah, it was Balance. Yeah, because I had Big Fat Money and all that. Yeah, and I remember Eddie sometimes wear that headband and all that. And they played, at that time, they played it. Back then, it was called the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater. Back then, it was around Concord, I think, North Carolina. But it was an outdoor venue. And I remember Whoopi Goldberg come out and introduced the band. She was shooting a movie back then, something to do about basketball and something to do with the Charlotte Hornets or some shit. But I saw him then, and it was just, that was the 2 times I got to see him. And it was amazing, And I've always carried those memories with me ever since. I didn't mean to make this so long and drawn out. I'm sorry. But this is, if you're a fan of Eddie and he has influenced you, you have a story to tell. Everybody in this chat and people that's watching on the replay or whoever watches this, if you're a guitarist, musician, whatever, Eddie has influenced you somehow or another. Hendrix. You see the picture on the wall of Hendrix hanging right there to my left. Hendrix, I love Hendrix. A lot of people compare. Michael Smith, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. A lot of people compare Hendrix and Eddie. God bless you, Michael Smith. Thank you. Hendrix was an innovator as well, but that was a different era. When you left the 60s, the late 60s, and you come into the 70s and mid-70s, it was a different day, man. It was a different day altogether. Van Halen 1 gets released, Eddie Van Halen comes on the scene, and everybody is like, what the fuck? And see, I didn't get into Van Halen until 1986. I was 16. And like I said in that video yesterday, well, I didn't say it, the narrator said it for me, but the first thing I heard was the intro for Mean Street, which I can't, there's no way I can do that. And I didn't know what it was. So the first album I got after I heard that was 5150. That was the first album I got. And then I was just like, I love when it's that good enough. Hello, baby. And he does, when you hear that, it's just like, fuck. The hair is, even now, the hair, goosebumps. Sammy Hagar always called that the chill factor. And that's just, I love that. I was like, holy shit. It was just, I love that whole album. I've always loved Sammy Hagar. David Lee Roth era, excellent. Does it have its place? Absolutely, man. But then that era changed, and then Sammy stepped in and took it to another level. That's just, I'm getting choked up, sorry. And it's just another level. And it was, all those albums went to number 1, but we're not here to debate which era was better. That's subjective. I love it. I love it all. I really do. But Eddie changed the game, whether you want to accept that or not, or whatever. Eddie changed the game, man. And it's never been the same since. And he was always, to me, he always seemed like such a humble man and very kind and passionate. And how I just, he was a great influence on me. I mean, I know he was I don't know, but I can just, from what I read and what I see, he was a great father to Wolfie. And I mean, how cool is that? You got to go on tour with your father, and play all these big venues. That's incredible. I mean, those memories he'll cherish for the rest of his life. I mean, my God, But that's incredible. That's just so awesome. So I just wanted to kind of tell a couple of stories today. I was going to wait till Friday, but I had to get on here today and talk about some stories and share my thoughts and feelings of how Eddie has influenced me. And he will be hugely missed. I know he will with me. It's just, of course, everybody else, but it's just like, damn. Gabriel Tone Guitars. I heard Van Halen for the first time in 1978. Wow, that's awesome. 802 Blues. Hey, Great Benzini, man. How are you doing, sir? 802 Blues. My mom said she couldn't hear for a few days. Her and my father were front row in Montreal in 84. Wow. Man, I watched that so much on YouTube. I watched that so much. Poo Ninja F Cancer. Yes. Man, what a year this has been, 2020. God mighty, man. I lost my father in June 16th, my father died. He succumbed to the same cancer Eddie died from. Throat cancer, and he also had cancer in his lungs, too. So, 2020's been bad, man. We're losing all these great musicians that's been around so long, but, they rocked hard, but they partied even harder, I think. When you party in excess for so many years, it's going to come back to get you sooner or later. As much as I hate to say that, But Andy Dion Joe, did you like the Gary Cherone era too? I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched a bunch of those live shows about a month ago, just watching. There was one song off that album that I liked. It was called Without You. I think that was the single. It was okay. I wasn't really a huge fan of it. I wanted to like it because it's Van Halen, and I was like anybody else. I was skeptical. I was like, man, they got another singer. And Gary Cherone is an amazing vocalist, man. I love Extreme. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. But just for my personal opinion, I just didn't think he fit. And it doesn't mean anything against him as a person or anything. I'm just speaking as a fan of Van Halen. For me, it just didn't fit. But that's just my 2 cents, man. 802 Blues, it's still hard to believe. Yes, it is. It is. Great Vanzini, not that many actually raised the bar. Certainly Eddie was one for sure. He did, man. It was incredible. Incredible. Judd Lofthouse, hey, man, I love your passion, Joe. Chin up, my friend. Thank you, Mr. Lofthouse. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Poo Ninja, 2020 is a swift kick in the growing daily. Yeah, you're not kidding. Rockin' Dave Byron, my man, Rockin' Dave. Hey, man. He says, hey, Joe, great tribute, brother. First time I heard Eddie was late 1978, and then saw the 5150 concert. Awesome. That is fantastic. Rockin' Dave, thank you for being here. Fire in the Hole. Wow. Yeah, you like that? That's cool, man. I mean, you can't dislike somebody for liking what they like. I mean, it's your own choice. But, hey, Fire in the Hole, wasn't that in like a Lethal Weapon movie or something later on? Something like that. Rockin' Dave, I can't stay. Got to go do my rounds, man. I'll catch the rerun. Stay safe. Thank you, Dave. Pardon me. Thank you, man. Thank you for dropping by. Gabriel Tone Guitar. It's hard to do this video without shedding a tear. I know, man. I'm holding back best I can. And I don't even know if I can play. People that are not guitar players of my generation and people who aren't musicians wouldn't understand this. They would probably look and go, I don't get it, man. What's the big deal? Well, it is a big deal. You know, when you're passionate about something, somebody comes along and draws your interest and hey, man, check this out. You know, you might like it. You might love it. You don't know till you try. And it took me a long time just to learn a couple or get in the ballpark of Eddie's licks. Again, I cannot play Eddie stuff note for note. Never could, and I never will be able to. I just can't. But I try to take a little bit of his stuff and a little bit of my stuff and mix it up. And so there you have that. 802 Blues, he says, none of my friends understand. Yeah, it's you know, and I get that. You know, see, I put it in this kind of perspective. This might sound a little silly, but I thought about this morning. Eddie Van Halen, for people of my age and my generation, is like when Elvis died in 77. For that generation, that was a huge, I mean, all the people gathered around Graceland, everybody was tore up, and of course Elvis changed the game. He'd done stuff that nobody else was really doing. He was flamboyant, he was a good looking man, he could dance, he could sing, he was the whole package. Eddie was in that same category, in my opinion. He's the whole package, man. I mean, it was just, you know, and I was like, and he would watch him play and have that little grin on his face, man. He could tell he was having a great time. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to play like that, or try to. I want to try to play like that. I want to be able to express myself. Yeah, I played sports when I was a kid and all that stuff, and I had a great childhood. But when you get asked to go to, what was it? I was in high school. I was in 11th grade, senior week. That's what they call it, right? And all the kids go to the beach, Myrtle Beach around here. For senior week, you're graduated, you go to the beach, you party, you hook up with chicks and all that, and you know, live it up for a week or two, and then you come back and you go to college or you go to work, one or the other. And I was in 11th grade, so I still had another year to go, right? But it was graduation. I get home from, I didn't go to graduation, but I was at home, and excuse me, and I'm up in my room in mom and dad's house, and I'm sitting here playing, you know. I'm sitting there just jamming around, you know, just jamming, and I turn around, and my cousin's standing there. It scared the shit out of me. I was like, I didn't realize I left the front door unlocked to the house, and my bedroom door was halfway open. Well, I'm sitting here playing, you know. And then I turn around, he's standing there, and I jump. I said, well, man, what the fuck, dude? You know, and he said, well, the door was unlocked, man, but listen, you know, it's senior week, graduation just happened a few minutes ago. Pack your stuff, man. My mom's in the car in your driveway, and she's going to take us to the beach, man. We're going to party up. And I was like, dude, what? And he's like, I've already called your mom. She said it was cool. Pack your stuff. I said, dude, I ain't going nowhere. And he looked at me like I was out of my mind. He said, what'd you say? I said, I ain't going nowhere. I had the guitar on. He goes, so you mean to tell me, and this is a true story. He says, you mean to tell me you'd rather play that thing than go to the beach? I said, yeah, because right now I'm practicing. He just turned around and walked out. He didn't say nothing else. I guess he was pissed, you know, we were kids, but I didn't want to, I just, screw that, man. I was in my room all the time, you know. Trying to practice, man, trying to play, trying to get a little closer, trying to get a little better, just trying to do something, you know. True story. JJ Collins, the big deal is that the greatest of all time has left the building. Many people don't understand that. Great point, Mr. Collins. 802 Blues. My parents always have had Van Halen playing. Probably the first music I heard. Eddie has been an influence on me and my whole life. Yeah, man. On me my whole life. Excuse me. Rocker Pat. Only Eddie can play EVH proper. That is correct, Mr. Pat. You are right, man. Mitch Heyman. If not for the likes of you, Joe, Johnny Bing, Dave Nesdahl, R2R3 Lockingnut, I would never have got an EVH Standard that I love to play. Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Heyman. Thank you, man. So, let's play a Van Halen song, or try to anyway. If I screw up, just bear with me, man, because I'm coming in here cold. And I told my wife, I said, I got to go live. I got to do my own tribute to Eddie, And so let's play a song, and we'll talk some more. Check out the chat some more. Y'all feel free to comment any questions or whatever. This is the time to do it. It is 2:01. Okay, so we got a little bit of time. Okay, I'm going to click this commercial break right quick. I'm going to try to queue up this MP3 player because it shut off. It has like an auto shut off feature or something. So, okay, here we go. When I first heard that cover off the Diver Down album, I was blown away. To me, it's like what they done with You Really Got Me. They took something that was great and made it greater. Old Pretty Woman, originally written by Roy Orbison, and Van Halen took it and just skyrocketed that damn thing. It was great, man. Diver Down, that's right, man. That is right. Yeah. Great Vanzini, yay for Joe. Look how that decision, that viewpoint has paid off for all of us who have fell asleep with a guitar on. That's right. Let's do another. You want to? Well, there's a few Van Halen tunes that I love to play. And, of course, not perfect by a long shot. But this is my tribute to Eddie Van Halen. And like I said, I got to see him twice, the band Van Halen twice, and it was just a lot of fun, man. It was a great experience. And like I said, at the end of Live Without a Net, they played Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, and they did that when I saw them on the OU812 tour. They played that the last song, so I would like to do that as well. Kind of my farewell Eddie, in a way. All right, here we go. Thank y'all for watching, and rest in peace, Eddie Van Halen. Thank you for the music. Thank you for making guitar fun to play. Thank you for creating guitars that are fun to play, for helping musicians such as myself and all other guitarists everywhere. I don't know what else to say. I've told my stories. I've kind of vented. I've tried to play, and I think that's going to wrap it up. I think that I've said what I wanted to say, and I just want to check the chat real quick before we take off. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Nathan Adams, hey man, he says, hell yeah, thank you, man. Miss Lala just got here. Rocker Pat, that's how you get it out. Rock on. Thank you, Mr. Pat. Gabriel Tone says, sounds great. Thank you, man. I don't know about all that, but Mr. Fisher says, killer tribute, Mr. Joe. Thank you, man. JJ Collins, thank you very much. 802 Blues, rest in peace, the almighty Eddie Van Halen. Yes. Thank you very much, man. Thank you so much. Rocker Pat, Joe, just remember, going to the beach makes you hot. Playing like you do makes you cool. Keep rocking out. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Y'all were so kind. And thank you very much. And until next time, this is Joe signing off, and we'll see you on the flip side. God bless y'all. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.